Good morning, everybody. It's Craig here, 16th of February. Good session this morning. Act 5.1 finished. It it was a good reflection on how I structured the scenes in a particular way during phase two, and I like it, but it gives me pause for reflection upon the balance of something happening compared to something not happening. Um, so some of the scenes within Act 5.1 are very, is it 5.1? Uh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is 5.1. I was wondering if it was 5.2. So 5.1, some of the scenes are very action filled. A lot of stuff happening, very busy. It's going to be really fun to write. And they're just jam packed full of stuff. And then there are other scenes within the act where the focus is more on reflection and mood building, memory, and when I look at the description for the action, and these are for scenes and micro scenes, so these either 222 word chunks or these sort of 665 word chunks. The action, you just think, well, that's an easy match. That is absolutely, it's going to push the boundaries of what's there. Whereas with some of the reflection things, you think, I hope this doesn't drag. Because one of the things one of the things that you might lead to the conclusion, therefore, is just let the action scenes be these big meaty things and let the periods of reflection be smaller things if you don't think you can fill out as much of the content for some of those scenes where there's not much happening. Don't drag it out just for the sake of it. Meanwhile, if an action scene feels like it needs a particular length, do that too. I'm actually not subscribing to that seemingly sensible mode of thought. I want to be much more formalist with this and have the scenes all very much equal length. So an action scene and a reflective scene will be the same length. And I want to do that because I don't want to discount the value of some of those more reflective, less action-filled, mood-building scenes. I don't want to discount them by thinking this is just a transition until the next piece of action takes place. I want them to serve their particular function. The difficulty at this point is that I have a lot of description already made, as part of phase two and part of phase three, that I can put into phase four now and say, look at this big action scene, it's so big. And then when I go to do one of the reflective scenes, the description's like this, it's such and such thinks about the past. And you think, well, that could be anything. So what I thought this morning, and something that made me feel particularly excited about writing some of those reflective scenes and giving them their due, and having them be the same length and the same importance and quality as some of these more flashy, lots of things happening scenes, was to think about some aesthetic representations of when that style has been achieved particularly well. And I was thinking of things like Samuel Beckett's Krapp's Last Tape, which is a favourite of mine, and you think it's a big play and a big monologue that is all about reflection and memory, and it plays to the aesthetic of that consideration so well that you think, if I could just take a bite out of that and have it as part of this, then it would no longer seem like, it's a reflective piece for the sake of it, mood building for the sake of it. How are we ever going to get this thing to 665 words for this particular part? It's only got 100 words worth of content there currently. But I think the idea is to think about what's achieved by things like Krapp's Last Tape and other reflective moments, be they cinematic or literary, or whatever the case may be, and think, well, how do you mirror a reflection of that into this piece of writing so that you're achieving that level of quality in this, so that it makes the reflective piece a beautiful aesthetic package of words, in the same way that the more flashy, lots of things happening, Pinchonian sort of stuff seems to more readily achieve, at least at this stage. And the other thing is that this particular act, 5.1, I mean, I'm going to be getting to that months down the track in terms of actual prose writing, so I'm not being too precious about it at this stage, and you know, it's going to be what it is when it gets to that stage, and there will be a lot of things that I need to cover and include, and this conversation could all be for moot. I might be sitting there thinking, my gosh, there's too many memories to jam in here at this stage, how are we going to fix that? So that's something for the future, but also something that you know, it makes me happy now to think about those aesthetic moments like Krapp's last tape and similar, particularly Beckett. There's just so many beautiful, reflective, memory-filled considerations that I think I really draw on there for what I'm hoping to do with particular passages in this novel. So yeah, that was nice, nice writing, nice thinking this morning. 5.2 tomorrow. We're getting to the skinny end of phase 4, and you know, we've got, this is February, so I mean, we're definitely going to wrap up in time for the end of the month, and then the exciting act of building prose each day comes into play. I'm nervous and excited, and I really am looking forward to it happening. So yes, that will be something to look forward to in a few weeks. But for tomorrow, I will see you then for Act 5.2. Hope you have a good day.